Hi everybody. We're going to do Lego equations. We're going to use Legos to model balancing chemical equations. Some of you already know how to do it. This is just an opportunity to reinforce that concept. So let's look at the procedure. Number one, it says let specific colors represent specific atoms. That means, right, if calcium, if you wanted calcium, then you can make it a red block. If you wanted calcium to be a black block, you get to decide which atom is which color. Then, just a little note, it says, remember, if a polyatomic ion is on both sides, you can group it together. So, for example, if you see the sulfate ion on both sides, it can just be that should say black block, not black black. So, for example, on the back, if you see here, there's an NO3, a nitrate, on the reactant side and NO3 on the product side, you can just go ahead and use one block to represent that whole group. Okay? If you have questions, just ask. I'll be walking around. Secondly, it says make 5 models of each of the reactant substances. So remember, we're just starting out with what is on the left side of the equation. So here's my equation here. It says H2O makes H2 plus O2. Now there are these little letters in those parentheses that are italics. Those just tell you the state of matter. They don't really influence balancing at all. Okay, here we go. Since over here this is water, it has 2 hydrogens, right, and 2 oxygens. So I'm going to have blue squares represent hydrogen and white blocks, rectangles, representing the oxygen. So I need 2 blue squares, remember this from before, to make 1 water molecule. Now it says I need to make 5 of these, so here I go, I'm going to make 5 of them. Here's 2, here's 3, whoops, here's 4, and 5. Okay. Once you have your 5 reactants, right, I'm going to put them over here on this side because they belong on the left side. Now, in letter C, it says use the models that you've made to make products. You have to use a whole number of reactants to make a whole number of products, which means you can't have like pieces and parts left over. If you take a water molecule apart, you have to make sure that it makes a whole product. So let me do it for you and you'll see. Okay? In order to make H2, I need to take 2 blues. So I'm going to break apart this water and I'm going to attach the 2 blue squares to each other, right? This is now H2. It's a product, so I'm going to put it over here. But do you see how I have this 1 oxygen block left over? This is not a whole product. Remember, my product is O2, not just O. So I need to take another water molecule, break it apart, and put it together. So now I have O2, and I can put this to the side. Okay? This is still left over. Let me see. Oh, look. This is sweet. This makes an H2. I can put it over. Now, do you see how I don't have any pieces left over inside? I have either reactants or I have products. This is when you stop. Okay? Now you take a look at your table. Well, how many H2Os did I start with? Well, I started with 5. So I put a 5 there. Then the next box underneath says used. I have to count these. 1, 2, 3. Now, did I use 3 or did I use 5? I actually didn't use either of them. I used 2 of them, right? Because I have 3 left over, I actually used 2. Now, over here on the product side, well, how many H2s did I make? Well, 1, 2. I made 2 H2s and I made 1 O2. Got it? Now, once you have that, right, what you're going to do in this little space here is you're going to draw your models that you made. So right now I'm drawing my water molecules, right, with the blue color pencil. And I'm drawing 2 of them on this side because that's how many I used. Then I'm going to draw an arrow, right, in any chemical equation. And I'm going to use my blue color pencil now to draw my 2 hydrogens that I made. And my 1 oxygen. Great. This just shows you, right, pictorially what you did up with your models and with the table. Now I can write my balanced equation. I'm still going to use the blue for my coefficient. The 2 goes out there, and then I write my formula, H2O. I draw my arrow, then I write 2 H2 plus, now you can write a 1 in here if you want, or you can leave it blank. Remember, blank in front means the same thing as 1. Now this is my balanced equation. Ta-da!